How's it going, everybody? I'm Steve, and welcome back. So I'm really excited about this Barnes & Noble 50% off Criterion sale happening this Friday, June 28th. This is, a lot of people may know this. The sale happens in July and November usually, but it sounds like it's definitely going to happen this Friday. So, but yeah, a lot of people may know. Like 2 weeks ago, I did a video kind of displaying sort of like maybe 10 kind of obscure titles overall. And tonight I wanted to do like 10 titles I think that are very, very accessible, very popular. I think ones that not only Criterion fans, but I think just people as movie fans in general should have these titles. I think they're great films. Just really excited about these. So let's get right into it. Okay, number 10. This one's released in 1968. It's by number 909, and the movie is Night of the Living Dead. This is from the famous director George A. Romero. This is the one that actually got a 4K release last year, and like I said, I think this is a title that any horror fan, any just a film fan should have. This was for a long time it was like a public domain movie, so it was so great that the Criterion would release this one. They actually released it on 4K last year. This starring Dwayne Jones and Judith O'Dea. I just think for a black and white low budget film, I think it's one that I think any horror fan, any Criterion fan, any movie fan should own. Okay, at number 9 for 1988, I have Spy Number 936, and the movie is Bull Durham. This is a movie starring Kevin Costner and Susan Sarandon and Tim Robbins. This is one I actually owned on DVD before I ever bought it on Criterion. When I saw a Criterion had it, I thought I definitely have to upgrade the DVD to get the Blu-ray version, because I've always loved this movie. It's directed by Ron Shelton. It's one that it kind of has. Sometimes it sort of has like an art house kind of look to it, but it's definitely a mainstream movie. It's definitely one that any baseball fan and any movie fan can really love. Okay, at number 8, this one's actually a box set from 1971 through 1978. It's Spy Number 1036, and it's Bruce Lee, His Greatest Hits. This is actually on Blu-ray. I think you can get these on 4K through other boutique labels, but for me the Blu-ray edition is definitely fine for me. I think they look really great. Obviously Bruce Lee's famous from he's actually born in America but grew up in China, but he made his fame and fortune really in America when he came back to America. And it's really great. You get 5 films in this collection, and I think everyone should own this one. Okay, at number 7 for 1985, I have Spy Number 905, and the movie is The Breakfast Club. This is from famous director John Hughes. His movies were really popular in the 1980s, a lot of comedies. He wrote a lot of comedies, he directed a lot of comedies. He did Vacation, the original Vacation, wrote that, and the Vacation, European Vacation. But this one's really famous from having Molly Ringwald and Judd Nelson, Ali Sheedy, Anthony Michael Hall. Just a great cast. Emilio Estevez. I love this cast. I love the main song from Simple Minds. Just that kind of feel good kind of a lot of teens kind of talking out their issues and kind of getting to know each other and realizing that they're all kind of really very much the same. So this is a famous movie. I think everyone should check it out. Okay, at number 6 for 1986, I have Spy Number 977, and the movie is Blue Velvet. This is probably the most famous film from David Lynch. Some of his movies can be kind of polarizing. I think some people might say Mulholland Drive might be his most famous film, but this one's probably my favorite. I think starring Isabella Rossellini, Kyle MacLachlan, Dennis Hopper, really great in this movie. Laura Dern, fantastic movie. I think this is one that everyone should have in their collection. Again, this is one that you don't necessarily have to be a Criterion collector to own this one. Okay, at number 5 for 1989, this is Spy Number 97, and the movie is Do the Right Thing. This is from director Spike Lee. This one's really famous for having Danny Aiello, Ozzie Davis as John Turturro, Juan Carlo Esposito. And this is one that Spike Lee had actually done a few films before this one or two films before this one, but this is one that definitely put him on the map, and this is one I think anyone can have. Even if you don't own anything else from Spike Lee, I think this is one that you can definitely own, and I think it's very accessible to fans. Okay, at number 4, this one I was really excited to get this one last year from 1991. Spy Number 1180, and the movie is Thelma and Louise. This is one I had not seen since like the early 90s. I don't know why. I think it's always kind of the ending that kind of threw me off back then when I was younger. But now that I'm a lot older, I enjoy this movie quite a bit more. You can get this one on 4K, just like I did mention earlier. Blue Velvet is also on 4K, but this one I loved. You know what Susan Sarandon did in this. This is the second film I have in this collection with Susan Sarandon. It has you know, Gina Davis, Harvey Keitel is really great in this. Christopher McDonald. If you see a lot of scenes with McDonald and Harvey Keitel, you can see Harvey Keitel had a hard time keeping his keeping you know from laughing all the time because Christopher McDonald just you know couldn't. He just said so many things that just made him laugh. You know, this is you know, directed by Ridley Scott. You know, this is one that's very different from a lot of movies he's directed. But you know, like I said, this one's on 4K, and I think just like a lot of the films I'm talking about tonight, I think anyone can own this. You don't have to have a Criterion collection to pick this one up at Barnes & Noble. Okay, at number 3 for 1964, I have Spy Number 821, and the movie is Dr. Strangelove. I love Stanley Kubrick's movies. This is one of my favorite like dark comedies from Stanley Kubrick. Probably, maybe not my favorite movie from him. I think I had like The Shining and 2001 just above this one. This is like number 3 on my all-time, you know, Stanley Kubrick list. But it's so great. You know, Peter Sellers, he plays like 3 characters in this movie. He's really fantastic. You know, Sterling Hayden's a great kind of a villain sort of a character in this. And Slip Pickens, he's very funny in this movie. I think Peter Sellers was supposed to play that character in the movie, but he had some issue, some injury happen, and he couldn't play the character. But this is one I've always loved. It's a dark comedy. It's just like I talked about Failsafe in my last Criterion video, how that was really kind of a dark film, and this one's kind of a dark comedy. It's about the very similar subject matter, but this one's going to make you laugh, though. I think it kind of makes you think while making you laugh at the same time. Okay, at number 2 from 1980, I have Spy Number 1134, and the movie is Raging Bull. This is, you know, this one's available on 4K as well. You know, it's from a famous director, Martin Scorsese. Has, you know, starring Robert De Niro and Joe Pesci. I love this film. This one's in black and white. It's a boxing film, but a little bit more than that too. Just a kind of a struggling boxer. Just the issues that he's had throughout his life. And Robert De Niro is really fantastic in this movie. Okay, at number 1, this one's also available on 4K. It's from 1993. It's Spy Number 336. And the movie is Dazed and Confused. This one, I think it got a 4K release last year. It's from director Richard Linklater. I think it's starring, you know, it has Matthew McConaughey. He's fantastic in this. Ben Affleck. Has Parker Posey. Love this cast. Love the music in this movie. It has that feel good kind of summer vibe to it. You know, anybody that kind of familiar with the 70s, 1976. You know, even if you grew up in the 80s, you're kind of familiar with a lot of stuff that came from the decade before. But it's got that whole vibe to it. I think a lot of it. This one's really the most famous film from Richard Linklater, and I love it. It's just a feel-good movie, and I think, like I said, anybody can own this. I had this before I bought it on Criterion, and always loved it. And it makes me laugh, and it's just a feel-good kind of film. All right, everybody, thank you for watching this video. Like I said, go to Barnes & Noble this Friday if you want to pick up on 50% off. You know, you can get a lot of movies for like $20 or $25 on 4K. You know, a lot of great titles. Have a great time on Friday. Please, if you're not already subscribed to my channel, please do that. And please put a thumbs up on this video. It definitely helps with the YouTube algorithm. And everybody have a great one. Bye.